aware and kind of pay attention to what's happening over the course of the next few hours, because weather like this can be life-threatening. The storms are moving from the southwest toward the northeast. Now, speaking of northeast, this blue area here is a severe thunderstorm watch extending from Cheyenne west of North Platte. But here in Denver and across northeastern Colorado, this is a tornado watch in yellow, but we're also starting to see some severe cells embedded within that area. So let's zoom in on the first one. Severe thunderstorm watch outside of Commerce City, moving into northwest Denver and up toward the Broomfield area. Second severe thunderstorm warning, Douglas and Elbert counties until 4 o'clock. These storms are tracking from the southwest to the northeast. And again, Adams County, Denver County, Jefferson County, this cell here is just north of Lakewood. We're northwest of Denver and Commerce City, and it's tracking northeast. So Brighton and Lockbuoy, DIA, all in areas that could be seeing large hail, 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. Right now, the thunderstorm forecast is estimating quarter-size hail, but we think we could see hailstones larger than that. Behind it, through Central City and Idaho Springs, we're seeing some additional development. And again, that big hail potential means you got to keep the pets and the kids in your car safely put away if you can. This new cell, which is developed in Arapahoe County, Douglas and Elbert County, is severe until 4 o'clock. Again, tracking from the southwest to the northeast. So we're looking at just to the northwest of Castle Rock, right over the top of Castle Pines North, extending up to Lone Tree, Highlands Ranch, and Centennial, out toward the Stonegate and Parker areas, and now the Pinery. Franktown and Ponderosa Park, Elizabeth, this cell is just north of you and tracking northeast, but additional development means that those areas around Elizabeth, Franktown, and Kiowa could still see damaging wind potential and also some large hail. So this whole area is a large thunderstorm that is severe, capable of dropping really big hail in excess of 1 inch in diameter. Some of the forecast modeling is suggesting teacup size hail, softball size hail, tennis ball size hail. That will create damage to cars, windows, sidings, and will be dangerous to you, your pets, and your family. So again, storm movement from the southwest to the northeast. A third severe thunderstorm warning, this one out until 4 o'clock north of Carville, tracking northeast just outside of Kit Carson. And we're looking at severe thunderstorm warning for Elbert and Lincoln County with this cell through at least 4 o'clock. Looking outside at the Lookout Mountain area, we're starting to really see some of that convective activity out there with the potential for heavy rain. Now, we love the rain. We want the rain, but we're also seeing hail, and we're also seeing a lot of lightning around the area. So please be careful as these cells continue to progress. They will impact the evening drive, and they are, as I mentioned, coming off the foothills from the southwest to the northeast. As we go back to the radar, that third severe thunderstorm cell is really starting to billow up now into the atmosphere, and we're starting to get some hail reports in across Elbert and Lincoln counties. No signs of rotation with these storms yet, but again, the National Weather Service has put in that tornado watch due to the sheer potential. Denver is in that level 2, slight risk for large hail and tornadoes, but just east of us from DIA to Deer Trail to Lyman, that's where we have that enhanced risk. This is a lot of available moisture in the atmosphere, that added ingredient for these strong storms to have a longer life and duration. So we call that the dew point number. Anytime you see a 50 or 60 in eastern Colorado, that's almost like Midwestern dew point material. So let me show you the futurecast, how it's showing the storm movement into what could be a supercell by 4:30 or so, a big, strong storm that will be long-lived and capable of producing more than one tornado. That large hail potential will go through at least 5:30, extending from Lyman out toward the Akron area and out onto the far northeastern plains. These storms will continue until at least 7, 8 o'clock tonight before we start to see a little bit of a break. We're in the 70s right now, lower 80s. That's enough fuel to get these storms going. And again, that's all part of your weather headlines. We have severe weather, tornado watch out until 9 o'clock. And then tomorrow, we're going to be talking about critical fire weather. Outside right now, we're checking some of our cameras around the area, and we have some heavy flooding rainfall coming down. I-70 mile marker, it looks like, well, that's westbound at Wadsworth Boulevard, and we are starting to see that rain is impacting travel. And as you can see, your cars are doing what you're not supposed to do. They're pulling underneath the overpasses. Chris Bianchi with me this afternoon. Chris, when there's a threat of hail, the drivers love to pull under the overpass. You are not supposed to do that. Have we had any hail reports come in that you have seen?
Yeah, Kathy, two relevant points there that you're bringing up. One, don't ever do that, because then you're backing up traffic, and that is just a no-go. Number two, when you're in an underpass like that, you might think you're safe in a situation like that. You've got what you might think is a roof over your head. Remember that when you've got a bridge or an overpass like that, it acts as a funnel. So you're getting really strong winds within a storm like that, and so an overpass will funnel in all that wind and can make it even more dangerous for those people that are pulled over there. So that's why we tell you, please don't do that. And Kathy, to your other question, just got a report from Wheat Ridge of quarter-sized hail. Quarter is an inch in diameter, of course, and that is the beginning of severe caliber hail. And I kind of want to show you in a little bit more detail here part of the point of concern and this severe thunderstorm warnings. We got two of them in the metro area, one including downtown Denver. But you might notice this little bit of white here and in this downtown Denver storm, or one just north of it. This is really between about I-70 and Ward and about I-70 and Federal, where you're seeing the core of that hail moving through. And you might notice as well, I put on this lightning here for a second for a reason. There's a big spike in lightning right now with this storm that's moving through Arvada, North Arvada, from about Stanley Lake on south and east to about I-70 and Federal. When we see spikes in lightning like that, that often means that a storm is strengthening. You think about a rapid intensification of a storm, you're getting an increase in lightning, and that is part of the concern right now with this storm. I want to show you this as well. This is the velocity picture. This is radar. Red are winds going away from the radar site, which is right here. Greens are winds coming towards it. And when you see these two winds coming together like that in a short space and distance, that tells us that there is quite likely some rotation within this. So there is the possibility here within the next hour that we see an isolated tornado or two. Again, want to reemphasize, based on what Kathy was just saying a second ago as well, large hail is going to be our main concern today. That's going to be the big threat. That includes Denver, but we do have a tornado watch. Watch means conditions are possible. Warning means taking place now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning, which means that we're seeing hail right now. And we have that watch, which means we have that possibility for seeing one or two of these storms potentially turning severe. And here's the latest kind of radar scan. You might notice a little spike in green right here. That means a stronger push of wind, and that is, again, colliding with winds that are quite strong right there as well. I kind of want to show you downtown Denver right now as well, where we're seeing those storms move through. And here in Denver, I believe we have that shot up right now. We don't. We'll get that to you here in the next little while. But here's the main takeaway here, folks. It's really the next hour. There's a look at downtown Denver, and I believe that's the Coors Field camera looking, I believe it's looking off to the east there. And with that, it's the left-hand side of your screen where you're seeing the core of that storm. We're going to continue to see that here over the next little while, and that's the storm moving through. Here's the little bit of good news here, Kathy, is that maybe within the next hour, we're going to see the worst of it. I do think, and Kathy, tell me if you agree, I think by 4:30, the majority of the metro area is going to be done with these storms. So really here, folks, just, again, if you're at work or you've got to plan something here sit it out for the next hour. And then come 4:30, 5 o'clock, those skies should clear, and we should be out of the worst of it within the next hour and a half. Kathy?
And Chris, I think you and I are both concerned about supercell potential with some of these storms colliding and potentially a long-lasting supercell that could go for hours out onto the eastern plains, where you can have a multiple vortex system that produces more than one tornado or golf ball and baseball size hail, which would be catastrophic, especially for livestock, for homes, for cars and all of that. So certainly concerns with these storms coming off of the foothills that are producing rain in Denver. We love that, but I'm getting 1-inch diameter hail reports up in the Wheat Ridge area, down toward the Carville area. There are 6 separate severe thunderstorm warnings right now. All of them, these storms are producing 1-inch diameter hail. That's the biggest that I've seen as I just did a check on the radar there. So tornado watch for Denver, northeastern Colorado through 9 o'clock tonight. Large hail, damaging winds, and the heavy rain. Now, we like the rain. We don't want the hail. And the lightning is also, we have storm chasers out on the ground for us. Our Mark Salinger's out as well. But lightning is driving a lot of people into their vehicles and they should take cover because it's very dangerous. Severe thunderstorm watch up for Cheyenne, but this area in yellow, we're concerned about these storms coming into a very volatile atmosphere where there is shear available. And shear means the winds are coming in at the surface in one direction and coming in aloft at another direction, and that creates that little turn, that rotation, that sort of like little kink in that rotation of these storms coming off. So we do have concerns about the potential for funnel clouds or tornadoes, including downtown Denver, over the course of the next few hours. Some of these hail reports coming in around Arvada, northwest Denver, Lakewood, and Evergreen, as we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings around the metro area. 1-inch diameter hail reported in Applewood, that's in Jefferson County, and there continues to be these hail reports coming in as the storms track out of Evergreen through Lakewood into northwest Denver. Second cell down around Highlands Ranch, Castle Rock, and Parker also dropping 1-inch diameter hail. So this is an area that we kind of ask you to just stay indoors if you can, because we have some really dangerous weather coming in that will impact you if you're walking, if you're driving, if your dog is outside, your kids are outside. Large hail with these cells tracking to the northeast. The Pinery, Castle Pines North, Stonegate, we have a severe thunderstorm warning out until 4 o'clock. Arapahoe County, Douglas County, and Elbert County. And then further out, this cell out here near Carville, also severe, is also dropping 1-inch diameter hail across Elbert and Lincoln counties as it tracks from Carville toward the Hugo and Lyman areas. So again, the biggest hail reports I've seen so far, 1 inch in diameter. We think we could see that number go up. So we need you all to be safe and to make a plan. So our Mark Salinger is out in the thick of it, and I think we're going to talk. Oh, good for you. You're not. You're in the car where it's safe. Good for you. What do you see where you are?
Well, Kathy, like you were talking about, the lightning is just all around us right now, and it got too close to us that we decided to move inside. But let me switch the camera to what we are seeing right now. You can see the rain is starting to move in. We are at the right near I-70 and Pena Boulevard, right near Denver International Airport, and you can see that the rain is really starting to pick up. Just about an hour ago or so, it was clear skies and sunny out here, and all of a sudden now all these storms, all these cells that you've been talking about, Kathy, have just started kind of converging on this area. We've seen lightning, we've seen thunder, now heavy amounts of rain, and we're still waiting for that hail that we've seen in other parts of the metro area. We're going to be out here on the eastern half of the metro area and follow these storms as they begin to push out onto the eastern plains. You can see now the wind is not only picking up, but the rain has significantly picked up within just the last couple of minutes. Everything is dark all around us. You might think that it's almost dusk at this point with all the storm clouds that have moved in, but at this point, no hail yet. No tornado, potential tornado or anything visible either, but the hail and those tornado watches is something that we're tracking and continuing to follow as we track these storms as they moved east outside of the metro area and onto the eastern plains. Guys, back to you.
All right, Mark, thank you. All hands on deck, obviously, as we get through this weather impact alert day for you. We're going to have much more coming up after the break.
We're going to take a break right now.
A massive operation.
Agents come with their guns drawn.
A series of ICE raids took place today.
Donald Trump's war on immigrants is an attack on all our fundamental rights. I'm Michael Bennett, and I'm proud to have led the fight against Trump and ICE's lawlessness. As governor, I'll use every tool I can to stop Trump. We'll prosecute federal agents who violate the law, block new detention centers from being built, and require judicial warrants
To the north and to the south, we think this cell is probably climbing vertically up into the atmosphere, 50, 60,000 feet. We think there's going to be some big hail right here. That is north of Franktown, north of Ponderosa Park. That cell is severe, tracking toward the northeast. So we're getting those hail reports in, 1-inch diameter right now in areas like Applewood. We've also had some 1-inch diameter hail reports outside of Commerce City and up toward the Broomfield area. This severe cell for Adams County, Denver County, and Jefferson County. That warning out until 4 o'clock. The warning for Douglas and Elbert and Arapahoe County, including the Pinery, where we're a bit concerned about the hail there. That warning out through 4 o'clock. And a new one out by Carville. This is a 1-inch diameter hail report as that cell tracks off to the east and remains severe also through at least 4 o'clock. That's in Elbert and Lincoln County. So these storms are dangerous. We're under a weather impact alert for a tornado watch and severe thunderstorm warnings across the metro area. So we've got so much more ahead. We're going to continue to track these storms. We'll check the radar again in just a bit.
All right, sounds like a plan. Also ahead for you, what started as a dream to help his community and fellow thespians is now a reality. We'll sit down again with a Denver teen about his
skyline there, these ominous clouds that have caused chaos right now at DIA. There's a ground stoppage, to the best of our knowledge, till 5 o'clock. We'll see what happens there, but obviously they don't want planes going out or coming in this.
No, they've got hail and heavy rain all the way from Castle Rock to Arvada. It's heading east and northeast at this point. Castle Pines viewers sent us some video, small hail in that area. But we also saw some from Arvada, Applewood, another area close to Wheatridge. And this is the small hail that we got from Castle Pines area, kind of bouncing around off the ground at this moment. Nothing huge, not like damaging, like proof take off your roof kind of thing. But we're dealing with the rain and severe storms that, oh, by the way, 100% predicted, Kathy, lived up to expectations.
Oh, Kim, the folks in Kiowa are not happy with that prediction. We have a tornado warning, radar indicated rotation with a cell that is centered right near the town of Elizabeth and Kiowa, tracking toward the northeast. Again, a tornado warning out for Elbert County, this until 5:15. There are about 1,900 people in the warned area. If you are in and around Kiowa or Elizabeth, we ask that you take shelter, lowest level of the building, interior room or closet, until this cell passes through. Radar indicated rotation. Kiowa is the named town in the tornado warning, and we're also getting reports of really large hail with this cell as it tracks from the southwest toward the northeast. And so with these severe thunderstorms that are moving up and down the Front Range, we've had that heavy rain, of course, but now we're starting to see signs of rotation. So Ponderosa Park, Elizabeth, and Kiowa all in the warned area for rotation, but also large and damaging hail. This cell out east has dropped hail almost 2 inches in diameter as well. And as these storms track to the north and east, they will go for several additional hours, impacting travel. So we have so much more ahead to talk about this, but wanted to just break in here and let you know about the tornado warning. Elbert County, 5:15 for the town of Kiowa. Please take shelter.
Okay, our Mark Salinger has been on I-70 heading eastbound, and we just lost him. He was near the Bennett area. We're going to hope to get back to him. But in the meantime, we got a big debate coming up tonight.
Yeah, and 2 Democrats are trying to unseat Republican Congressman Gabe Evans in Colorado's 8th congressional district. And that district, as we've been telling you, is one of the most competitive in the nation.
That district started with Democratic representation, then swung red in 2024. Tonight, we're going to hear from 2 Democrats, State Representative Manny Rutnell and former State Rep Shannon Byrd. 9 News anchor Kyle Clark will moderate this one. As we've been saying over and over again, complete toss-up. I mean, with the last election, 2,600 votes separated them or something.
Yep, first time around, the 8th was really close as well. And one of the interesting questions tonight is going to be the extent to which the candidates choose political moderation. Okay, you got to remember, first time that the 8th was ever up for voters to choose, they very narrowly picked Democrat Yadira Caraveo over Republican Barb Kirkmeyer, who's now running for governor. Exceptionally close race. Caraveo was a progressive in the state legislature, but then she tried to moderate her positions in Congress, and in the process just made a whole bunch of Democrats mad, and she ended up losing her re-election to Gabe Evans. He has not chosen the path of moderation. He is MAGA through and through, strong supporter of Donald Trump. Tonight, the 2 Democrats looking to unseat him will debate on our air. 6 o'clock live. State Representative Manny Rutnell, a progressive who does not